Hi, this is Matthew Weiner, writer, executive producer, and this is episode 12 of season 6, and I am here with...
Andre Jacquemetton, writer-producer.
Maria Jacquemetton, writer-producer.
Aaron Staton, I play Ken Cosgrove.
And as is Maria and Andre work 24 hours a day throughout the entire season, so the only time they really have to write a script is the second to last script. Even though I've been talking about you on all of the episodes during the season about all the contributions you make, obviously on a daily basis, directed by Phil Abraham. And I think what you have to know up to this point is that Don has been caught by Sally sleeping with his downstairs neighbor even after the affair was over, and that Megan has been doing her soap opera and succeeding, but she knows something's wrong. And I remember actually, Maria, you talking about this idea that Don's not even sleeping with her. And
Right. Well, he's feeling also that his daughter is very, he's hurt his daughter and he's yearning for, that connection. So we thought it would be great. In the writer's room, we were talking about what would we do? How would we show that Don misses Sally? And we thought, well, if he comes home drunk, it would be great if he went into her room.
Right.
Just passed out there.
In a fetal position.
Yes.
Exactly.
We will see again.
Yes, that's true. And also, that Megan's trying to get him to eat. And I think we don't have a lot of it in this, but Don, well, here's, how do you show that Don Draper is overdoing it?
Right, because
Breakfast of Champions.
Yeah. This is a Freddie Rumsen move, right?
That's exactly right. Breakfast of Champions, right?
It's fine.
And Megan's very distracted, and she's just busy with her own life and her own success.
Terrible. So do you.
And Don, her saying, you gotta ease up on it. You gotta pull back on the throttle, right?
Right.
She looks beautiful.
Home today.
She's concerned. She can tell something's wrong. She doesn't know what it is. That's what we felt, is that she probably thinks it's all about her success. That's certainly what her mother made her think.
Right.
She has no idea that he both had a torrid affair for at least a year, close to a year, with his downstairs neighbor, is completely ruining his business, and was caught sleeping with his neighbor. And Phil, of course, moves the camera here.
Pushes in on that
Yeah.
thirsty man.
And the lack of lighting and everything in this, the dimness.
Oh, that dog. How many hundreds of takes to get it to run through that scene?
And have we met these executives before? Did we cast them for this? Do you remember?
For this, I believe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And this is Chevy, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think one of them was in the car
Boom.
with you. I
And
think one of them was in the car
I think
in the
you're
car
right.
accident. Yeah.
You look very dead.
And we talked about how that you survived, but most hunting accidents happen because people are drunk.
Oh, right.
And this is a real Nixon ad, and Don's playing hooky.
And this
Doesn't
was,
even feel like going to work.
I think I remember part of the reason why you chose this ad was because of the...
The young people, the youth, right?
Yeah, I mean, the whole sense of the season
Law and order.
the revolution
Yeah.
and the return to, to the Nixon silent majority. That was
Right.
all part of what was happening. And kind of how Don is of that other generation, even though he kind of can go with any generation, he really is of the past.
Right.
And I swear I love this
I
soap
know,
opera
this
scene
is-
so much.
No,
They
why don't we
really,
keep going with this?
everything about this was done properly. The camera moves, the static on
This
the
guy's
TV. This
amazing.
guy
Yeah.
is fantastic. All of it. And going with our doubling. And of course, we love the idea that Don turns it off. His wife's on TV. And
Your girl said you were home.
Betty calls.
I am.
Too sick to talk. I can wait.
I can talk.
He thinks he's going to be found out.
This,
Right,
there's
he
so
doesn't
many-
know. He knows Sally's not coming by, and this is just like a huge guilt trip. Remember,
Right.
he's just like stealing himself.
Yeah.
Waiting for that revelation. It's such a great scene. There's so many layers of things going on here between him thinking that Sally's told on him, and then, Betty knowing something's up but not what, and then they get into this weird little flirtation because, of course, they've had sex, so now they've like sort of
Right.
moved to a new place in their relationship.
It could have been being held hostage.
And Betty is also kind of bragging about the
Absolutely.
fact that Sally wants to go to Miss Porter's, and that was in the wake of the Jackie Kennedy Onassis thing. This is one of the things where we picked a date that we knew they would have so much to talk about.
Also, Don thinks he's got a way out, and that's by paying for the private school.
Right.
Opening up his wallet. That's
He
his
doesn't
way.
even want Betty to question it.
How much does that cost?
Just like, you know,
Eleanor,
pay
I'm
for
on
it.
I'm on top of all of it. I don't want Sally to be mad at
I
me
think she'll interview well.
and having her go away.
Everyone but me.
Solve a lot of problems.
Exactly. For everybody.
I don't know, Don.
And Betty
Your
is,
supporters.
she's such a snob.
I know. She's so
That's all
happy
from
about
Maria,
this.
just so you know.
Just
Betty-
like nothing
Betty's-
could be better than your
He's
daughter
saying
going
Maria's
to
a
Miss
snob.
Porter's.
I'm just saying Maria knew what the key elements to being a snob for that generation were, which was her look at it, which is her way she blushes with the I can brag about where my kid goes to school, the country club, the mansion, my husband's running for office, all of these things are, and you know, and Betty lost her weight too.
She lost
She's
her weight.
got
She
it
looks
all.
fantastic.
When you do these phone calls on one side too, the other person shows up for the phone call, but you know, it's always considered a little bit writing wise of a failure to force people to talk on the phone. And I was talking about this, like for me, as soon as I saw that the actors could do it in a believable way, and sometimes they're just one-sided, we don't even shoot the other side of the phone call, and you really, it's so much important happens in life on the phone that I'm just like, let's do it.
It's true. You always say that.
You know, this was meant to be super embarrassing. If
It is
anyone's ever seen
embarrassing.
two people who are in love at work, they have no idea that they're embarrassing themselves.
It actually makes me uncomfortable to watch it.
I
It's
know.
So awkward.
We wrote all these terrible jokes for them, and I don't think either Ted or Peggy is the funniest person in the office. I vote for Ken, actually.
Well, Roger's pretty funny.
And Roger, yes. Roger's definitely on that list.
When you talk about the scenes with and where the actors are talking on the phone, do you feel like, because you've talked before about like some of the elevator scenes and things that start off as sort of a challenge to yourself, do you feel
Well,
like,
when by the time you're doing the 800 thing, you know, what's great about the phone is that the person can't see the other person. And so everybody gets a chance to give you some sense of irony because they're putting it
They're
on,
alone.
you know, yeah. And they could say like, yeah, I'm all dressed up and ready to go. And it's like, you know, she doesn't know that Don, you know, Don's homesick, really? He's clearly drunk. She even makes a joke about it.
This is the best time to lie, really.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my God. I'm going through a canyon. So he got through his sick day and he's sort of pulling himself together. He's watching the Stooges, exactly. And Janie, we put her on alert that this was winter because this is like after, this is actually like November or October. I think we wanted to be Rosemary's Baby still playing in the theater.
Right.
And this was really funny. That
Oh my God, I love this.
Call
It's
from the
here's
coast.
the call from the coast, and getting rich and Don has promised in exchange for. I think, do you see we put sunburn on him too? He really looks like he's on vacation,
Totally looks like he does.
but he's a businessman and he's very successful and he's kind of irritated that he gets turned down here. And Don made a commitment that he would not screw Ted over on this business anymore.
Right.
Don't do that.
When Ted got Sylvia's son out of the army,
Right. He told him he would play nice.
and he has played nice for the most part. He gave Ted Chevy. He gave them he gave them all of their accounts. He's really not doing anything,
Not doing anything, but
but screwing up his personal life.
Rich is amazing in this. He like insisted to keep that shirt open.
Really? I wasn't on set. I do remember writing it, and I do remember asking how sunburn was he, and I was like, he's out there all the time. He'll be fine. But I also like that Megan is taking care of him, and here we have our movie theater. It's a great place to shoot. That movie is really scary. We knew that she would react to it. That movie holds up incredibly well.
absolutely.
And it was not a Manson reference. This is a gigantic moment in the culture of this movie.
Hello.
And Don in his turtleneck.
Hello.
And look who went to the
Yes.
movies.
It was terrifying, wasn't it?
And we were like, Don's mad, right?
He's
Yes.
a bit jealous.
He's definitely a bit jealous. And it's always a weird thing because his jealousy, I don't think, is like sexual. I think it's just Peggy doesn't get to admire anybody else.
I I know.
No one gets to go to the
Well,
movies except him.
It's that, and
And that
also,
too.
wasn't it that we were talking for this episode? We wanted to do an episode where Don was feeling threatened because everyone thinks that Ted is this virtuous man,
Right.
and that the whole episode becomes this sort of diabolical plot that Don goes into to destroy
corrupt him.
Ted's virtue. Yeah. And it sort of gets echoed in the Pete story, as you'll see as we move on through the episode. But this is the first time where Don kind of
This is where he
Realize-
gets
he sees
activated.
his little foot
Yeah,
toehold
and they're
of how he
lying
can
so
destroy
badly
him.
here. Even if it's an innocent crush, he goes home and calls Harry and says, "Go ahead and do it," because he feels entitled to screw Ted over. Megan, this was, remember, a big issue in the room is like, how much are they talking on the way home? They didn't like wait to talk about it until the way home. I hate that in
Yeah.
movies and TV shows where it's like, let's wait till we can get to the next set to have the conversation. What I like that is she comes in here and you realize she's been talking about it the entire time.
I know.
And he's like, what? Why are you still talking about it? But it's funny that you say that about the corruptibility, because I did talk a little bit in I think, in a few of the episodes about this doppelganger idea, and that Ted is a part of
not
Don
interested?
Right.
that Don hates. He's the virtuous part of Don. So here's Don's point to say, you're not so good.
Right.
Why were they going to the movies at 5 o'clock?
And
think Harry
and
would be
this
there.
is obviously totally confirms Don's paranoia. But we're like, Don's not a little girl. He's not going to freak out
hours
about this. And
earlier?
then part of us was like, that the more that Megan talks about it, the more
Yes,
that's
worse
going to
it's
it's
irritate
more
gonna
her.
get.
irritating. Yes, yes.
And for Megan, it's just gossip, right? I mean,
Megan,
Don had an
yes.
affair with Megan in the office. What's the big deal?
Yeah, no, it's
No,
not.
for her, it's
not a big
titillating.
deal.
It's fun.
Right. There we
Seeing
go. This set is fantastic. This is.
And
We
look
had
at
a
the
debate
side of
too
your
about whether we
face.
would show whether you were alive or not. You know, like whether we should
episode.
start. No,
No.
whether Pete should just walk in the door and see you sitting there. But Phil had this idea about you closing the curtains, and
Revealing
yeah.
the eye patch.
Yeah, what was it like working with the eye patch?
It was you know, it was fine. I mean, I'd work 10 minutes at a time, but I did get headaches, and Matt suggested we cut a little hole in there, so I had like the, you know.
But
the
you
hole.
didn't want to use the one with the hole. You said that you felt like
didn't-
it was too, like you started to fake it.
I did, because if you're doing a scene with two people, then you would, you know, normally you just move your eye. Sorry, if you have your one eye covered, you move your whole head in order to see two people. Whereas if you can see through the eye patch, then you just move your eye, not even realizing it. And I was cheating.
Right,
And it's so
right.
much funnier to have to move your head.
And
to see two
I
people.
totally agreed with you. I just hated that you were having headaches and you were, you know, you were pretty good at hitting your marks. Not any worse than normal.
I know, I'm terrible at hitting marks. It's so true.
No, what I was going to say is the idea that the eye was running, we wrote that in.
That's
and that Pete
And the handshake.
And the handshake, all of the depth perception stuff pretty much was accurate. I mean, eventually you throw the earring at Joan another
yeah,
episode.
right. I love it.
But I feel like what I love is that Ken's virtue, and you've always played this so convincing. Of course, Pete is like, he can't believe it. He's been squeezed off a Chevy, all this stuff. This is like falling in his lap. You know what? I'll take that problem
Yes,
off your
I'll
hands.
Take the high road.
And and he's mad at you too. He's like, who's going to leave that account? You're like saying you don't want to be in advertising. This whole conversation was actually had in the writer's room with Josh and Bob about why would Ken leave this.
Right.
But we've always had this virtue about Ken talking about how important his family actually is, talking about his dreams. He's been pretty straight about it. He's an ambitious person. He wants to beat Pete. We saw him get a little bit, I wouldn't say corrupted, but he certainly got a little bit soured on life, I think,
But I
when he
think
worked
this
at
is
McCann.
it.
This
Well,
is it.
McCann, and then
Yeah.
this sort of like was the nail in that coffin. I think.
Yeah.
You ready?
And here, this is this moment where Don has now. We don't see him call Harry, do we? Do you
No,
just
he
pick up
just
the
said,
phone?
"What time is it in California?"
Right, which is somebody might get. I love Ted's office. I know it's not that important, but by the time he's moved in at this point with the wallpaper and everything, Janie and Claudette and Janie works with the clothes in the office, and Claudette made sure every piece of furniture was a separate personality.
Don told him that was the secret.
But this is Don setting the trap
Right.
right now.
I don't even think he's really setting the trap. I mean, no, he's not that on the trap. What he's doing here is saying, like, guess what, Ted? You are not so great, and I'm going to do whatever I want. I don't think Ted's made the connection. I think Ted's totally in denial about Peggy, right? Yeah.
Not about Peggy, but he knows
Yeah.
Don's messing with
Yeah,
her.
you don't.
Sorry,
You can say
I was gonna
fucking with
say
him.
a bad word.
You can actually. You can say whatever. Yeah,
that's
these
what
are
I
not
love
to-
about the
for
scene. You
broadcast.
can just feel that the two of them just want to go at it, but they have to be civil because they're in a business situation and they've got their dads sitting next to them.
Yeah, and Cutler is mystified.
I know he's
He's
so
like,
great.
aren't we? Cutler has been motivated by money at every second of the show, and or
Then it's agreed.
getting these guys to take the
More
agency
coherent
seriously.
approach to new business. That means no more surprises, Don.
And he does understand that Ted's really upset.
I apologize. But it's agreed.
And Harry Hamlin's like the gestures. Every he's got
watching him rolling his
so many.
fingers.
Yeah, he's just got a different one for all of them. And
They did this interview with all of us, two groups, but for the box set. So
Right.
I am sure people will be seeing that if it's part of this thing. And he talked about he had names for them.
Oh, he did?
Yeah, he had names for his gestures.
Oh, and the gun.
Yeah.
Talk about the gun. How long have we been waiting to bring that rifle back in?
Pete
I
polishing
like that
the
he's
22.
polishing the 22, and that you also see Pete as you know, reserved as he was with Ken. I'm gonna do you a solid here. Here you get to be backstage, and Clara's like, he said to Clara, when I succeed, you succeed. And so here they are with this husband and wife. Like, go out there and knock him dead, Tiger. And she even knows more about that gun than Pete does.
Yes, it's true.
I always felt like Alexandra, I always felt that she like could be mountain people. She's so tall, and she's like
Yeah.
lanky, and she's got that great voice.
For obvious reasons,
Um,
Ken is withdrawing from.
So this is the
The
kind of
pirate
scene.
joke? I think this is the
Yes.
first pirate
Yeah.
joke.
Yeah.
The first-
Yeah.
Yeah. There was only one joke about Ken that we never got to do.
What is it?
It was that I think I might have said it on one of the commentaries, but it was in season 7 later on. But Roger was going to say that you were just staring at him like a Bond villain, because James Bond is so big at that time, and we would make that joke now. So, but I love the Pete acting like butter wouldn't melt in his mouth, and everybody's onto him.
I know.
Bert's onto him, and here's Bob.
Benson.
Bob Benson knows exactly what's going on. He's not going to stick his head up. He knows he's being usurped. He knows Pete doesn't like him.
I think it's best if I bring in my own team.
That's a dumb idea.
Pete, don't forget that Bob made a pass at Pete.
Right.
Just the episode right before this,
Right.
which
But Bob knows nothing's going to happen to him because everyone likes him.
I don't know. I think he thinks they're going to be able to work together, and Ken doesn't care as long as he gets out of it, right?
I think maybe I'm keeping you.
You guys were as much in the dark about what was going on with Bob Benson as everybody else, and I right?
Completely. I mean,
I kind of felt like maybe we disappointed people in the end with not having enough of a story for him, but I loved his story. It's just when I heard the fan theories about who he was and what was going on, I was like, wow.
what were they? What were some of the?
Oh, just that he was like, they were insane.
We can find someone.
Peggy's baby come from the future.
No, that's like Terminator, I guess. He's a bit like
And here we get to go backstage, and everything that Pete said to Ken was true, and they're annoyed. They're annoyed because they don't want to leave. They don't want to lose Chevy.
Right. They don't really care.
No one has any
about
problem with Pete. Yeah, he's so phony.
He is.
And then he goes out and he sees Bob there. Bob's like, here we are. We're going to be taking a lot of flights together.
Is there a problem?
I don't want to work with you. I don't want to stay in a hotel with you. You're sick.
And we like that this was out in public, that he was just...
Only my admiration, which is waning quickly. This is not about my own interests. I
Bob
care
is
about Chevy.
really dangerous.
He is
And
dangerous.
Pete doesn't know that yet.
You say to people.
And this was part of the fun of this episode, if you remember. This was about the fact that Pete had learned something.
Right. Right.
This is where we find out about Bob.
Yeah. Doesn't Bob...
So?
No, Pete's like, everything got poisoned,
I know.
as usual.
Turn
I
around
can never
and
get
crap
anything
on
good
your
all at once.
secretary.
She's just like,
She's worried about that 22 right now.
Yeah. So here, this is the first. I love this really good special effects. A huge bunch of meetings. Once we wrote McDonald's in the script, remember?
Absolutely.
Oh my
Trying to get the
God.
bag
Yeah,
just right.
Ellen. You know, it's like the idea that I think that it's gonna something worth commenting on the here that the popularity McDonald's was on its way to be the predominant food. Fast food was a story. That's why we ended up doing Burger Chef eventually.
Right.
But
Getting away from boys?
the idea that there's nothing left is pretty insane. When it was, and I like that there's Sally's not gonna rat on her dad.
She's not, but she also wants to get away from Betty.
It was discussed in the room right away as the story was developed, and I remember Andre was talking about this, that Sally had grown up immediately. I mean,
Right.
she'd seen that with Dawn, that we could make a leap in the character's development and her behavior. So she's more manipulative with Betty. She can handle her better. She's not engaging. She just wants to get what she wants.
Right.
Can I ask you a quick question? I saw something recently that was period, and they were in a car, and the actors, you could see them, they were trying to shake. They were, but I don't think the actors, did they do that in
No, we don't. We vibrate the car a little bit when we do these process shots.
But it's not the actors themselves.
No, the actors
shaking.
don't do it.
Because
The
it was
actors,
so bad.
Oh, that's
I don't
terrible.
remember. But it was something like
I don't know.
a
They used to do it
real-
on Star Trek when they would fall down, and it sort of worked. But no, we do the that old-fashioned process, which has just become this green screen. The key we have footage from the actual place. Sometimes we have footage from the period that we doctor to look contemporary with old cars in it. Sometimes we shoot stuff. Someone will go out and shoot a plate on the Taconic or wherever they're driving with old cars in it, and they green screen them in. And then, of course, we mix that always with actual driving.
I just want to say that this is like so. I keep on coming back to diabolical because it is like the way Pete Campbell is going to get rid of Bob Benson is not to fire him, but get him another job.
Get him a better job, exactly.
Doug Phillips.
And using
And he calls
dogs.
it like, yeah.
The most,
I think people-
worst pathetic headhunter.
I remember we were kind of stunned, but James Wolk did speak Spanish.
I know.
And we liked it. We already had Manola was just
was
lucky.
so
He would have
excited,
learned
yeah.
it for those lines. Any actor would learn that. And of course, Moira's so protective of Ted. Her and Dawn bonding over the fact that they're just having too much fun in there.
You do realize this is the best picture these people look
And Don sort of insinuating himself into this, and us there, Joan doesn't feel like being there, which is kind of fun.
I know her reactions
And
are
they're
just
doing this
right on in
casting,
this.
right? And Don's argument about how much this is going to cost and how it's going to work is a really good
It
argument.
is a really good argument. There,
And
Ted
the
is letting
residuals
himself
matter.
get carried away.
Yeah, he is getting carried away, and we did do this just so we could see Don act like a baby. And remember how hard we worked on this pitch to make it, I don't know if Josh still thinks that this is a good ad. I don't think he does, really, actually. But we felt it had to be good enough to pitch.
Right.
And that became a meme of some kind.
8 or 9 people. It's the whole coven. And there's a crazy little old lady.
And I love that Joan just does what she's told.
I know.
They're acting so badly. This, believe it or not, this has been my experience with advertising, is creatives selling the shit, as they would say, into it instead of out of it, to get a client excited.
And the flash turns it white. Then you see the beautiful.
Yeah, exactly. Then they stop for and Phil went out of his way to put.
Yes.
I'm afraid of
But St. Joseph.
Don in this scene. Just the way he looks,
know.
he's just looking at them like, oh,
He's
if you use
hating it.
that,
Yes,
I'm gonna
he's
get
hating it.
you.
And the weird thing was, this season that was about Don disintegrating, John Hamm had his polyps on his throat. And his voice is never really, we rested it before we did the finale. And we tried to give him as much time off, but his voice is never really his voice. And I think it adds that sort of rawness and vulnerability that people were not, it's really different. And then he got the operation at the end of in between seasons, and thank God everything was fine. But
I didn't want to dampen the enthusiasm.
and I love that Joan and Don both know that this is not the way that this business should be done.
Mm-hmm.
And just know every one of those pictures had to be cleared. All the different characters, who looks like a Ruth Gordon, who looks like this, everything had to be really accurate. And those are just in case they show up on camera.
10 grand out of pocket?
So Don didn't need to look for a problem. I thought the construction of the story, and I think Josh was the origin, at least, of the "Tell 'em Ted" line. The construction of the story was such that it was right for me because Don was not doing anything that wasn't good for the agency.
Right.
It's heartwarming to see such
And, but he's so
have to do it that
malicious.
way.
He did not have to do it that way. And
I wanted it for myself way back
this
then.
actress,
The headmistress.
the headmistress, she's so great. She was in All That Jazz,
Yeah.
which is one of my favorite movies.
Tomorrow in class.
And
I want you to keep in mind, and I'm sure your mother
we
will
wanted
be,
Sally
this is much for
to
you to find out about
not do
us.
much talking in this scene, right?
Mhm.
Betty's just showing off how much it means to her.
Right.
She's really kissing ass. And Sally's just wants it to work perfectly.
Carla, could you fetch Millicent Turner from study hall?
And the whole suggestion of this other world off of the set is done with sound and, you know, off-screen talking. And I think you feel that Betty does really want the best for her.
Thank you again.
And you kind of expect her to turn around and go like,
No,
all right, she's
left to the
gone. Let's get
wolves."
high. No, you actually are worried for Sally, right? When you
Yes.
when you read the script or saw this, you were totally like, oh my God, what's going to happen to her at that place, right?
Right.
As usual.
Yeah. And so Dot has shown up.
I'm planning a voyage.
We've talked about her senility
Well, he's very upset about
and
the way you're treating his friend
putting her
Mom
foot down.
Nancy.
She has a new nurse. Manola's been fired.
The nurse is just sitting there.
And Dot is so great, that imperiousness that goes. I don't remember. I remember saying that in the room. Like
Yeah.
she has to be so forceful with all of her.
I am still your mother.
I don't have your passport. I'm sure it's expired, like everything else you own.
He's so horrible. He's really mad at her. When things are going bad, his mother does see. She was his problem all season.
She really was.
And of course, you have to walk through Myra.
And so I will say, I am pretty sure that I walked into the room, and I don't like to identify things this way, but the women writers on the show were having a conversation about how this would go bad, and that your thing was that they're gonna haze her,
Right.
and that Sally will do anything for them.
Wow. I'd like to feel sorry for you.
These girls are scary.
And they are really scary. But Sally's not as uncool as everybody thinks. And this dorm room, boy, did they nail this thing.
Our opinion is crucial to your excitement.
Claudette and Dan, the size of it, the adjoining rooms in tandem, all the decals, Snoopy, everything is so much of young people at that
You think we
time.
need money? You should call your mother.
Again, Maria, expert on how this snob thing went, but it was that money was the
Maria
last thing.
did go to
they-
that school.
I did have that jacket with the fringe, though.
Claudette before with Ted's office, and
Yeah.
and it got me and Janie in the same scene. Do they?
Oh, absolutely.
communicate? They do. They say he's going to wear this, and this is.
It's hard to believe when you walk into a set that has plaid wallpaper and someone's wearing a plaid dress and carrying a plaid purse, but they all did it together. So Don blew the whistle on them.
Sent the
and
budget over.
Sent the budget over, pretending like he was helping. We had this phrase, I think it might have been on the board at some point, of doing somebody a dishonest kindness, and that Don is basically going to help them to death. And
She comes up with this.
you know, you can see that Ted is in love with her.
Yeah.
Remember your first big ad?
We saw him kiss her just in episode 6,
Right.
and now it's gone to this. And
You're right.
He's gonna fix this somehow.
he's gonna fix it
back to
somehow. He's
work.
just tired. His wife called him out on it.
Right.
Right.
Right. It's been building.
And Don says, "I'll back you up, no matter
Right.
what."
Boy, is that a duplicity. Oh,
What is it about Ted though? I mean, he always sort of seems he lands on his feet. That guy somehow, right?
I think he is a virtuous person, but I do think in the end he's dependent on Don. You know.
Yeah.
He's upbeat and he's a little bit of a faddist, and I think he's more of a committed ad guy. I don't think he has any necessarily soulful ambition beyond that. I don't think he's that deep. Let's put it that way.
Maybe that's what it is.
Yeah. And here we have the return of Glenn Bishop, who is basically unrecognizable to the audience for sure.
Yeah, he's.
I
completely
live
grown
with
up.
him, so he's grown up, and this jacket with all these buttons. This is not someone trying to be cool. This is Janie bought this jacket on eBay with everything on it, and the person who sold it to her had a picture of themselves in 1967, I think, or 6, with all these pins on it.
Great.
So it's not up for debate, even though the jacket was in such good condition.
How much was it on eBay? I'm just.
I
so
have no
curious.
idea. I have no idea. They never tell me that. They never tell me that. I used to ask, and everyone's like, "Don't do that because you can't. We'll make it up somewhere else." I don't know. Sometimes they're nothing, and sometimes they're a lot. They never tell them it's for Mad Men. I know that.
Well, you're just going to say get it anyway.
Yeah. They never asked beforehand. So they've got the Dixie cups, which Ellen rustled up, and she's tied her shirt, and they've hemmed up their skirts to look even sexier because they're not allowed to wear their skirts the way women did at that point, right?
Right, right.
And then we've got Rollo, and that toast dated Sally's game.
Great shot.
Right?
That's right.
Yeah, it's incredible.
I love
This is
this.
a set. This is.
Hello.
This is where we find out about that.
Yeah, and I went over Duck's home office.
Oh my God.
We had a big discussion about they're like, well, we need a home office, and I'm like, I think he's working in his living room.
Might as well be written in steam.
But
His
I
glass
think it's
of milk.
his glass of milk, and I love that he just punches Pete in the face over and over again, saying like, what is wrong? What kind of company are you running over there? How did this guy get hired?
Idiots hired him, and I'm not
Yeah.
giving you your money back.
The only people dumb enough to hire this guy. And for me, I felt we were always working to this line, which was,
Got that from him.
I've seen this before.
yeah, I've seen this. I've never seen anything like this before, and Pete's saying I have.
I have,
Yeah.
right.
He's from West Virginia.
I love that they're both half lit. I just love that.
You know, it's something I used to talk more about on the commentary. I mean, I always tip my hat to Chris Manley for his amazing
Queen
work.
Elizabeth.
Are you kidding me?
He had 3 references.
At a certain point,
Non-working numbers at K&E.
it just is the way the show is done. And, you know, I watch other shows and no one else does this. And Chris Manley explained it to me once. His joke is always, and I know I must have said this somewhere in the commentary, but it's like there's dark, darker, and you're fired. But I always had him push it. And we're working with the Alexa at this point and have a pretty good feeling that we're going to be able to get an image. But what's more interesting is that there's still, Chris found a way as we worked with it to get the latitude that you get on film or close to it,
right.
which is enough black and.
But thematically, it always makes sense for these guys to be half lit, and especially.
And you're seeing plenty of them.
Right, absolutely.
Yeah. So Dawn is really in a state.
Yes.
The fact that a man could not be distracted by that woman walking in and saying, "What are you up to?" is
you
just
watch TV
show
in the
that they're in a
bedroom?
bunk. Yeah.
Obsessed with
I'm staying out of
TV.
here.
mission, his evil mission.
And so,
Should I roll another?
Sally does sort of bear false witness here,
I'm really drunk.
but our feeling was that she
She always freaks out.
she says that Rollo is
Yes.
really forcing himself on her. I
Oh,
don't
yeah.
know that he is, and
No,
she
she was-
through by
She's
omission she makes
exercising
it
her
way
female
worse.
power.
She's just trying to get the response she wants out of Glenn.
Right. And I think that's important, that whether it's romantic or not, which it isn't necessarily, that Glenn, this to me was another elucidation of the same thing with Peggy and Don.
Right.
It's not a romantic relationship, but boy, is she jealous.
Right.
She does not want,
Proprietary,
she does not want him in there with the slutty girl.
Yeah, no.
And they're so good. They're so childish and everything. The Fritos and his whole want to fool around. I don't know what else to
What a
do.
great move right here.
I know.
Do you play basketball?
And it's funny because I don't have any daughters. I'm super protective of Kieran. You guys have a daughter.
It's not
Aaron doesn't have any daughters. But there's just a part here where even when you're putting her in this position dramatically, you want to make sure, not that she would not have any experience ever, but you want to make sure that you're
want to talk anymore.
playing into that. You got to channel that fear in yourself from your age when you know what I mean? Not your parental fear.
Right.
You got to take the risk that something terrible. You want the audience to think that it could go the way it does frequently for us when we're young.
Glenn, come out.
Hey, come on, you gotta relax.
What do you want?
And I love how they're trying to be cool.
What the hell, Rolo? I told you, she's like my sister.
I think you're full of shit, man.
Oh,
you
use
just wanted
shit.
the good one.
One of the threes.
No.
You had
Yeah.
3 shits to
Exactly. And I like that she's tying her shirt back up. There is no room over there either, right? It was just a corner. We couldn't really afford to double up the
There was
set.
nothing.
And this fight was a lot of choreography, and they really did a good job with it. It felt like the kind of fight between friends, like a struggle. Not too many punches, just like
And the
enough
girls
to.
are kind of enjoying it.
Fun.
Glenn completely came to her defense, and Sally's happy with it, even if it means he has to leave. And we went out of our way to put Fritos on his back. I'm not kidding. We're like, we let him roll around in them.
He'll be fine.
And of course, that's his ride, which I think is the most accurate thing of it, right? You know, right? He's gonna go home with him.
Nice meeting you.
So Glenn returns, and he's a little bit more like Batman than creepy at this point.
He protected her.
Keep in touch.
The girls are all happy because they didn't have to put out. It's great. Had a fight and everything.
I don't know. I do not want. You're the one. You do not want to even weigh in on this. All I know is that they are. Sally's got cred, and we knew she would get cred, even though she blew the whole thing.
Right.
This is the scariest scene right here. Don early.
Don's waiting.
Yeah.
Yes.
Ted wanted more firepower.
He leaves the meeting early. He's never
Yes.
there.
Chris Figler did an incredible job, and I remember him really. The amount of material for 2 separate scenes in this room, because there's a scene. There's 3 actually. There's the one beforehand, then the scene with everybody in there, and then the scene when everybody leaves with just Don and Ted, and then Peggy, and the keeping the pace and letting know what's important and trying to make it happen quickly. And this guy did a great job as the client. He's totally reasonable. He's like, "What happened? I'd let you do whatever you want. How come all of a sudden it's gone up so much?" And there, and
Louisiana accent is
right.
amazing.
But St. Joseph's is from Tennessee, right? I think it's from Memphis.
Yes.
And
but he's from Louisiana.
Yeah.
Or Mississippi. I can't remember.
Ted, with all due respect, it's not your job to promise sales. It's your job to deliver work for the budget agreed to.
It turned out to be more people than we thought.
And so Ted's going to get a chance to sell it.
We didn't want there to be any.
And so Don just sits here. They've got the boards. The presentation's going to happen. And Josh has storyboarded this and drawn the boards exactly as they pitched it.
You wanted something contemporary.
Peggy's like trying to talk but can't.
Yeah, I think she's just like waiting for her cue. She doesn't care about the ownership part of it. She cares more about this ad than she does about Ted, though.
Yes.
That's the thing that was really worked in the story.
We have enough of a history that you should trust my judgment.
No. I want a reason. I'm entitled. You know the raft of shit I caught when this budget came
But that's
out?
not true for him, right? He cares more about her, you think?
Mr. Plow called
Than the
No, I think he wants to give it to her, yeah. And Mr. Plow is not a reference to The Simpsons. It's actually Shearing Plow. It was the guy who ran it. But I like that it did sound like Mr. Plow, like Homer Simpson. And so here's Don killing them with kindness.
Creative relationship.
These guys are amazing. They've done everything they can for you. And there's a reason
why we would push you like this.
And I know what it is. And the idea that Ted is afraid that he's going to be outed in this thing.
Yeah. I know.
And he is actually. I think that the looks they give each other, it certainly confirms Don's suspicion. It's fun for me to watch a scene like this because it just and Christina really stays in it. I have to say, give her credit for having a line at the beginning and a line at the end. The worst situation ever. You've always talked about that, Aaron. You gotta sit there for the whole scene, and sometimes you're the focus of the scene. I know, but just to sit here, I think this was kind of a captivating.
Are you okay, Ted?
Cutler. It's all told by reaction. And we went over our way to sort of slick Ted up here a little bit more too, so he looked a little bit more like Don, and a little bit more like an ad man. It's sort of happening over the course of the season. The way the ad men have in our show.
All right. I'll tell him.
And they both are terrified.
It's hard for Ted to say.
I remember breaking the story. The key thing was finding out what would Don's real excuse be. And somehow, did you think of it? Did I have a dream about it? That it was Frank Gleason. It was Frank Gleason's last wish.
Yeah.
I'm afraid
One of these things that seems so obvious, and like that's why we had Frank Gleason in the show, and it wasn't. It was just a harvesting of the ridiculous coincidences in that world.
Mm-hmm.
I guess I don't know
when that happens.
I know, it's the best thing. And we should never tell anybody.
I know.
And Ted's not an amateur. He just goes along with the whole thing. And you just see Peggy. I remember saying to Tom Wilson and to Phil, like, why aren't we like looking at Peggy? And he's like, it will play. And it played so much worse to have Ted stuttering there and just see Peggy looking down the barrel at Don, right? Mm-hmm. Lizzie is like, she doesn't look at Don that much, that angry. I don't think she looks at anyone but Pete probably that angry the whole show.
You should come to Piping Rock this Sunday. Get in a few holes before all the grass dies.
We'll see.
Lisa Albert never lets.
No.
Was that really necessary?
And now all the bullshit's off.
Leave us alone.
I remember your thought was here, Maria. You kept saying like, yeah, like he kills him. Don kills him, because Ted looking weak like that in front of Peggy also ruins their relationship.
Absolutely.
That was the best I could do. You want me to tell him the truth?
What are you talking about?
God.
You're not thinking with your head.
That was your solution? Try and embarrass me?
You're embarrassing yourself. I know your little girl has beautiful eyes, but that doesn't mean you give her everything.
Oh, God. It's so horrible.
We've all been there.
I remember the table read for this episode
Don't say that.
was really, and it's episode 12, so like everybody's tired, and I know you don't have to say it, Aaron, but a lot of times people have not really familiarized themselves with the script for that table read. And I could tell that beautiful eyes line, it got a like gasp.
Yeah.
Like, I can't believe Don is being that cruel.
Yeah.
Love the shot.
Love that look on, the shot through the glass.
Yeah.
Just
Ted just looks
destroyed.
tiny. And here's Pete.
Oh, this is.
Together.
Bob's headphones.
I know.
Listening
you
to his
can't
success
see.
record.
Yeah,
Yes.
he's listening. You can't see the record, but he's
But
listening.
we saw the success record earlier.
Oh, okay,
And remember
okay.
when he rescued Ginsburg?
Oh, that's right. Okay.
You want me to go get one?
And I remember putting, we did not tell James to do those gestures, but he knew at this point that he was imitating a person. And that's what I like, is that every once in a while, the dangerous part of him would come out. And you see him here. We wanted him to be scary. He's scary.
I've been awake all night wondering what you do when you're found out. This must have happened before.
And
I love the idea of imitating a person. I mean, like,
he's like, he's got, Janie went out of her way to like give his clothes are just slightly off. He saw people dressed this way, but he doesn't quite have the right stuff. Doesn't have enough money to dress that way.
Sort of an alien. Like,
Well,
this is what people act like.
Mr. Ripley or whatever
Yeah,
it is. There's a
right.
tradition to it, and of course we've seen Don on one side of it, but
Give me that at least.
He wants a one-day start. I love it.
yeah, he wants a head
I
start.
know.
There's his map of Michigan. Remember, they were like, "What do we put in Bob's office?" I'm like, "Nothing. Bob's probably not even supposed to have an
That's true.
office.
I
He probably
know.
just took somebody's."
Yeah.
I don't believe you. It terrifies me what you could do in a day. No, Bob.
I have to say
You're going to get
that
back to the fact
when
that
we
I
started
can't
talking about Bob Benson being this deceptive person,
people like you do it.
and he is harmless. I mean, it's not like he's figuring out how to kill somebody. He's just doing what he does
But I would
in an
like you to
untraditional way.
learn not to tangle with your
Every
own
single
business.
person in the writer's room, and eventually a lot of the cast had run into someone like this.
Where you are and
And I don't
who
think
you
it's just
are
show
is
business.
not
I think
my
it's just that this is a
Human nature.
human
Yes.
nature. I don't even think it's particularly American.
So what does that mean to me?
Bob is now like, what does this
I
mean?
want you to graciously accept my apologies.
But it was confusing to people that Pete didn't do anything.
Too closely.
And our defense
Again, I don't
was,
understand.
Yes, you do.
Pete learned something.
Yeah, exactly.
I am not having that happen to me again. I'm off limits.
Keep your enemies closer.
Yeah. I mean, in a way, it was him saying, I don't love you.
To get your friend
Yes.
Right.
out of my mother's life.
Because he never really said anything to him after the pass. And we always figured it's Pete's like went to boys' school, like a bunch of boys' school and stuff like that. He's definitely had a guy make a
Yeah.
pass at him before.
Totally.
Because that's what they do, you know, at boys' school.
And at girls' schools. by the
And
way.
at girls' school.
And then
um,
this scene was something that you added.
Yes.
You wanted
It's a
him
moment
to
of
come out and have a triumphant.
Glory.
and see that he had, see that he'd survived it.
Right.
Because he was going to Detroit.
Mm-hmm.
He should find the good in it. And this was the revealing
What?
moment that we were working towards.
So you got
This is where Betty knows something more than she's not the problem.
Exactly.
And I love that she's totally like mad at her, and she's like, everybody loved you, but I'm not going to tell you why.
I feel like I'm living this scene. Our daughter's 13 now.
Oh
On
my
a daily
God.
basis, I live this scene.
Oh,
They won't tell you anything. You know something's going on. You resort to, I'm going to turn the car around, and they don't
Right.
care because they're too old for that now.
right. You can't really hurt them.
No, so you have to find a way to treat them like an equal, even though they're really not.
I find that the interesting thing is that they are really talking on two levels.
Yes.
that half of what they say to you, you realize afterwards that they are having their own private joke with you at like half the time, at your expense.
But then they're sharing the smoke and everything's
Right. Betty's like, go ahead. Now, I'm so proud of you doing well at Miss Porter's.
Yes.
I don't know what you
Here's
did,
your
but they
reward.
loved you.
Here's your reward, nicotine.
And Kieran immediately, not the first time she smoked a cigarette on the show.
My
But-
father's never given me anything.
This hurts me.
I know, it's such a sad revelation.
And she just says it. She doesn't even acknowledge Betty.
Betty's concerned.
Yeah, I love that shot too. That was Phil, and you know, that's our team that can do that rack focus and split the lines just perfectly. That you don't notice them and keep your attention, and that's where the focus is on the person in the front and also on the person in the back. This is. Here's Dawn,
I just don't know why you did it.
and once again, more credit.
Like you're helping a little more.
Maria's basic line that started this episode was Peggy Cummings saying, "You're a monster."
Still enough money for the ad. We'll make it
Do you remember that?
I just,
It was.
I
We
don't
worked
remember,
our way
but
up
I
to
know
it. This is the way the
he's,
show works.
Save both of you.
He is very Lucifer-like in this episode.
Yeah.
Is there any? I just remember the suitcase so vividly. It's probably my favorite episode, and they had this exchange in the same position. He's like, "That's because that's what the money's for." It's
Yeah,
just,
no,
nothing-
you know what?
just-
I mean, at a certain point, you got a couch, you got an office. I mean, I guess maybe in somebody's mind, it wasn't written for that purpose. It was written so that Peggy wouldn't sit down so she could walk out on him. That's really what it was about. And Don's relaxing. And that Don hates himself. This is not directed at Ted. It's not directed at her. He has ruined his daughter's life. The only person who really knew him. And we had a hard time finding a song for the end of this. There's so much good music on the charts, but I wanted this. This was in the script. This pull away in the fetal position. And we kept looking at the charts. And everybody was there actually at the end. It was Blake and Scott, and everybody's playing songs. Chris Figler, we finally saw this Monkees song written by Goffin and King that was obviously, like much of the hits of the time, related to Strawberry Fields. And it just sounded so, it's called the Dolphin Song. It's just so lonely and weird, and
Yeah,
it emotionally got to me.
it works really well.
Yes.
You definitely feel Don's isolation and that he's living in a hell of his own design at the end there.
Right.
To make it about me, I just watching this episode, I realized that this was sort of the birth of how Ken, I think, will always be remembered, which is the guy with the eye patch.
That's true. It was totally worth doing. And you have to know that when it happened, we did not know it would be permanent, and we just
You
loved
said
it.
so at the time.